Yeah, because we get like
so you get all the notifications.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is important. Yeah, then it's quite nice. Yeah, holidays. Yeah, whatever it is,
there are some cups. And everyone's thinking just like me, come just before the I was a bit worried before and it worked really well. I was blocking someone and I stepped out. Yes. A lot of people are really spaces.
one series is three series, the next time five series, the next time seven series. Yeah, it's two right. And then the next five is the other one.
Assalamu alaikum. Imam Abdul, Latif is just running a little bit late, so please excuse him. I'm just conscious that we have, mashallah, our children here, the young babies. If the sisters or the brothers need to change their children, it's the main toilet over here that has a changing table. The back toilet does not have a changing table. If you need it, it's here in the front, inshallah.
So I was watching Freddy, too many people burning on the hands that you get lost in. That's not me.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Alhamdulillah, Imam Abdul Latif has made it. He's just refreshing himself in the back, inshallah. So, without wanting to embarrass him, I thought I'd just give a small introduction to himself. Muhammad Abdul Latif has been dedicating his life to the teaching of Islam, Quran, and Arabic for the last 15 years. He is one of only 5 students to graduate from the Zaytuna Seminary. It's a rigorous 4-year pilot program that was instituted in California. He then went on to receive his master's in philosophy at the Dominican School of Philosophy in Berkeley, in San Francisco. For many years, he taught in the Muslim community of the San Francisco Bay Area and online, and he travels and teaches regularly in the UK. He was an Arabic and Islamic sciences teacher at Elm Tree, a successful homeschooling cooperative in the Bay Area. He also served as the Imam at the Lighthouse Mosque in Oakland for 4 years until he had to resign to focus on his master's program and his work travels to the UK teaching Islam. He's currently studying his PhD here in the UK, I believe at the University of Exeter University, inshallah. So the topic for today is God and I, building a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is the topic for today, inshallah. There will be food served after the program, so we encourage everybody to stay put, and inshallah partake after the talk is done. Isha today is at 7:30. A small reminder for all our musallis, all our guests here, the clocks go back tomorrow. So be mindful of the prayer times, be mindful of coming here, what time you come. Jummah as well for many of us. First Jummah is at 12:30. The second one is at 1:20. Inshallah, if you know people who attend here, please relay the message. Inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, Ustad is here. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon, first, before any speech is given, we'd like to hear the best of speeches, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if I can call upon our beloved and dear Imam Tahir Fayaz to render a recitation from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى يسألونك عن الساعة أيان أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها صدق الله العظيم.
Like that, huh?
That's perfect.
Over here.
Just over here.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق والحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره العظيم. Assalamu alaikum. If possible, you guys are okay, but if you can come forward a little bit. Before we start talking, I have to give you the rules of engagement. We have some rules of engagement. Number one, I don't give lectures. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in exchanges, talking. So in order to do that, like anything else, you have to ask a lot of questions. Sometimes those questions can go in many different directions, but the idea is to the idea is that we're here together, and we're trying to pull from our collective conscious something that obviously I'm going to try to steer in a certain direction, so it's not completely non-biased, but this is just, I prefer it this way, because sometimes things go in directions that you wouldn't have thought, and everyone learns something differently. Alhamdulillah. The first thing that comes to mind is that I've always been amazed by the tradition of the Prophet peace be upon him when he said, "Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab," that a person, literally it says a man, but obviously it means a person is with the one that they love. Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab. The human being, the person is with the one that they love, which means, just linguistically that whatever love is, we'll get into that topic, but whatever love is, it does something that causes distances to disappear. Because, for example, I can be in California and my brother is in Yemen, my brother is in Scotland, but the love I have for him makes that distance disappear. But it obviously has more celestial, heavenly meanings, because if a person is afraid that they're not going to be with, for example, the righteous, well then just love one of them. Meaning you do what you're supposed to do, obviously, no one gets out of that. But the love you have for people that have a higher place than you, whether it be in terms of understanding or whether it be in terms of proximity to Allah, and Allah knows who is who, the fastest and the most, speaking to you as an American, from a capitalist society, you get more bang for your buck as they say, if you love the righteous. If you love those people, then Allah will include you amongst those people. And it's been said that the slightest, the most, the slightest degree of wilayah, the slightest degree of friendship with God is loving the people of God. So may Allah grant us wilayah, His friendship. Okay, that being said, I want to ask you, if a man is with the one that he loves, if a person is with the one that they love, the first, I forgot to tell you about the rules of engagement. Now we're going to go in, this is a platform, and now we're going to go into our exchange, hopefully. So, the rules are this. If someone says something you don't agree with, that's okay. If someone says something that you agree with, well, that's good too. But for you, it's for you to think in terms of what you have inside your heart. What is there for you? And if you don't want to say anything out loud, that's fine. You're not obliged to do so. But the object is to get things stirring. So the first question I want to ask them going into all of this, if a person is with the one that they love, then what is love?
Affection,
Affection. What is affection?
bonding,
What is bonding?
engagement,
Engagement. Oh, another rule. If I sound like I'm giving you a hard time, I'm not. I'm just digging. Yeah, it's not to. So if I walk up to another guy and I punch him in the stomach, that's an engagement. Is that love? What'd you say?
Find out
When he punches you back. When he loves you back.
how he receives it.
Love is what unites the heart.
Love is what?
Unites the heart.
Elates the heart.
Unites.
Unites the heart. Love is what unites the hearts. Sure, that's what it does, but what is it?
Something that makes you feel compassion and touch a positive feeling for someone that you want to have a good vibe with them.
So if you want to make money off of someone because you know that you got a good vibe and you can find a way in, is that love?
It's like meeting expectations. You're meeting the person who you love and they love you. There's something that you've done to achieve that station or that degree of love with them. So they've got boxes in which they consider if this person can do such, then that makes me beloved to them, and likewise all the way around as well.
That sounds like the benefits of love. Yeah, that sounds like the benefits of love.
you want to become like that person that you love.
You want to become like that person. That seems like the result of love too. Yeah, that sounds like a result of it. You have it, so therefore you want to. Right? Okay, we're going around it.
It's something respectful relationship, but you don't expect anything back. It's something you are surrender. It's one way. It depends that you are in love. You don't expect that somebody will give you something back in it.
Yeah. Again, that sounds like something that's a sign of true love, that you don't expect reciprocation.
Repeat your question again.
Yeah. What is?
I don't want to use the word love because I was using the word already. I'm trying to get to the love.
Yeah, I'm saying, what is love? Yeah, what is love is the question. Yeah.
Is it that you do anything for the person that you love?
Seems like an effect. Yeah.
Can you
Proof of.
Is it something that almost is unquantifiable? I mean, the word that comes to my mind is happiness, but then I'm
Man, is love always happy though? I don't think so, man. I don't think love is always happy. That's the reason why we have such like dramatic, stories and stuff.
It's the feelings, isn't it, for each other?
Yeah, I mean but there's a lot of feelings we have for each other.
And then good and bad,
Good and
you're
bad.
there for them. That's the love.
If we try and keep it basic, then is it just a connection?
Could be, but the thing about connection is so vague. You could be connected to someone because you want them to die. You love that they should die, but that's the,
You need to be positive.
no, it doesn't have to be. I mean, that's the thing I'm saying. So what is it? Ladies, do you have anything?
Is it just an attachment?
So that's what they were saying. But the thing is, you can be attached for many reasons. Don't be shy, Bismillah.
Love is something so profound that you can't explain it.
Yeah.
That's the definition. We're done.
We're getting the first.
No. No, but I mean, the truth is that, in order to move along, let's just make some suggestions. Love has been defined many different things. One of them is something so basic as the inclination of the heart. Mayl al-qalb, the inclination of the heart's inclination towards something. Now this is very not romantic when you think about it. The heart's inclination towards something, mayl al-qalb. This is mahabba, this is love. Which means that the most basic activities that we do in this world, our inclination towards things is because of our love for those things, mahabba. So, I incline towards money, sure. I incline towards another person, sure. I incline towards, and I can incline towards them for the wrong reasons. As I said, I could love to kill this person. May Allah save all of us. I can love to hate someone, and this happens unfortunately much too often. One of the definitions of love is the inclination of the heart, mayl al-qalb. For us, we have such a romanticized version of love alone. It's as if love only has one definition, and that's like, when you get those feelings, butterflies, and you're just like, I can't talk, that sells movies, but that's not the limits of love. Love is a very, very basic aspect of not only us, but to open it a little bit further, it's a very basic aspect of creation altogether. Because with that kind of the inclination of the heart, it makes you start to wonder about all kinds of things. When the female, when animals incline towards each other, when the mother takes care of the child, there's love there. The flock being held together, the inclination towards being saved from harm, the love of life. You can see all these things. In other words, it's the impetus for action. Love is what makes us act and what makes us move. Because otherwise we wouldn't incline towards anything if we didn't have love, which is like such a basic. I loved the idea, I'm not talking about romance now. I loved the idea of walking from over there to this table, so here I am. I loved the idea of moving this phone, so here I've moved it. It's something extremely basic. The next question I want to, if we're okay. All right, we're good. The next question I want to ask you is, what is distance when compared to love?
Time, light.
Okay, time, light. Our friend in the back just said there is no difference. He just leaves like, nah, there's a What do you mean? There's no difference.
There's no difference in when you love something, whether it's far or near, doesn't make a difference.
So love. You're saying that love evaporates distance. Anyone disagree?
Difference is between two things when you compare them.
Yeah.
Unless you don't have opposite.
Oh no, distance, not difference. Distance. So I'm not talking about space now. Yeah. Yeah. Because for example, I love this man here, sitting here. So my heart is with him. There's no difference now. There's no distance now. Sorry, there's no distance. Whereas there could be some other person, imaginary person here that I'm actually, maybe they're right here, I'm physically closer to them, but maybe I have no inclination towards them whatsoever. The distance between us is like night and day, because I have no love. You understand? So are we okay with that? That when it comes to love, there is no such thing as distance. The question is, what is the distance? What is distance as compared to love? There is no comparison, because love erases distance. Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab. the person is with the one that they love. Al-mar'u ma'a. And the thing is that the word ma'a here, with the withness, it doesn't just mean, it's only qualified, it isn't qualified, it just says ma'a. Ma'a, ma'iyya, withness. I'm with them and I'm with them in space. What about time? Is time a factor? What does time, how does time compare to love? It's nothing. So therefore, can I love someone that lived 1400 years ago? Can I love him better than the people that were around him who didn't necessarily know who he was? Peace be upon him. Better than the companions? I'm sorry. Sorry about that one. Probably not going to make that one. But I can, as the Quran says, that you see them looking at you, but they don't see. Hum la yubsirun. They look at you, but they don't see you. In other words, they looked at the Prophet. Some of these people, they looked at the Prophet, peace be upon him, but they didn't know who he was. They didn't accept his nubuwah, for example. So therefore, I'm closer to them. I am closer to him because of the love that I have that Allah placed there. Next question: What is difference? What does the word difference mean?
If you're talking of love, then nothing.
Yeah, these guys catching on. He's like, I know where you're going here. No, but what is difference? What does that mean? Difference. Huh? Change? What do you mean?
Like the difference between feeling a certain way to.
Okay, there you go. That could be a change. That could be something. All right.
Non-homogeneous.
Non-homogeneous. Meaning? Not on the same level. Not in the same field of sort of operation.
Just something that differentiates
Yeah.
people use the word difference.
Yeah.
The comparison. It's the same thing.
Things that have different attributes.
Meaning?
So for example.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, so things that have two different attributes.
Okay. So qualitative differences, like what?
It could be anything. It could be character in people. It could be physical descriptions in a chair.
Uh-huh.
It's a distinction. Say
Distinctions,
between
okay.
right and wrong, for example.
Right. Usually qualitative distinctions.
Irregular,
Irregular. What do you mean?
change, difference, could be fluctuating.
Irregularities. Oh, like in the same thing. Yeah. Like so, it's actually qualitative. All of the things are qualitative. That being said, now I'll ask you the more major question, and I'm not asking you. Yes, you know what? You can give theological responses if you want to, but we're not going to stop there. What is the difference between God and I? What is the difference between God and I? Okay, there you go. It's theological, basic theological difference.
He's the all living, and we must sleep, we must die. So there's a difference.
He has characteristics which, whatever he desire, he give us maybe a tiny part of some of his characteristics to carry on living in this world. Otherwise, as he's a creator, he has. I mean, you can't even apprehend him as such.
Right.
There's a difference between us and Allah. Allah is nothing like us.
ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. Yeah.
Some idea. I at all time am in need of him at every juncture, but he is never in need of me.
Samadhi is absolute dependence. What we have towards him is absolute dependence, where he has absolute independence. That's a huge difference.
We're limited. We're limited.
We are limited, and he is.
Allah is unlimited.
He's unlimited.
Yeah. No comparison.
Yeah. Which is a terrible effort on our side to begin to recognize him. We're trying. There's much that can be said about everything that has been said, and much has been said. But I want to ask you, look deeper. What did we talk about?
Love.
We talked about love. What did we talk about? Love and difference.
Time, difference.
What does love do to difference?
The heart connects.
Now here's the question. Now we're creeping up to material that we have to slowly digest. What is the difference between God and I? Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab. A creature is with the creature that he loves. Now obviously, I can't morph into the divine. It's not possible. The limited and the unlimited cannot morph together. It doesn't, nothing, not in a way that we could ever possibly understand. But what does love do with difference? It makes it zero. Wait. The difference that we talk about when it comes to God and I, everyone here talks about theological things, and they're there. That's why we're Muslims, that's why we believe in one God. But now I'm asking you about a relationship. I'm asking you about relationship, the relationship with God. On one hand, He is so distinct, He's so different, He's so other, we're so non-homogeneous, etc., 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 that we can't possibly begin to imagine to have a relationship with Him.
You know Allah through His attributes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Allah is forgiving,
Mhm.
Allah is merciful.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know Him by physicality, because
Mhm.
Allah is nothing like us.
Mm-hmm.
We know Allah through His attributes.
Mm-hmm.
In the Quran, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim,
Mhm.
Al-Qudus.
Sure.
So through these attributes, Allah's sifats,
Mm-hmm.
we can love Him through those attributes.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. I mean, again, that's very theological of you. But what I'm saying is like, no, listen. What is the difference between God and I? I'm not asking from a theological place. And remember everything we've spoken about before. What is love again? Please remind me. What did we settle on?
What makes the heart?
The inclination. I want you to genuinely ask yourself, what is the difference between you and God? Genuinely. I don't mean the difference in terms of your being. I'm asking you about distance.
Is Allah's close to us when He's talking about Allah's love is close to us than you can imagine?
Yes, but what I'm asking is, what is your, listen, I'm asking you because you can't answer this out loud. It's something you have to think about for yourself. What is your distance from God? When I say difference here, I mean distance.
So spatially, there's a huge distance, but in a spiritual sense, He's very present, very close.
He's very present, but where are you?
So is it the fact that we should be with Him when it comes to love? That when you're saying God, who is God to you? That because we love Him, when you were saying that we move because we love somebody, we'll act on that love. So there's no difference between us and God then, when you're talking in terms of love. The distance should be zero.
Oh, there's always going to be a difference because the absolute's love, the love of the absolute compared to my partial sort of biased love will always be different. But what I'm asking about now is distance. What is your distance from God? What is it?
Very further than His distance. Huwa aqrab min hablil warid. We are totally opposite.
Definitely. But again, dig deeper. I'm asking you about yourself. What is your distance from Allah?
Nothing.
Very far.
It depends on the individual, right?
It depends on the individual, absolutely.
Does it also depend on knowledge?
It depends on something else.
Taqwa. It depends on the state of your heart at that particular time. The situation, like
If you're present,
maybe it sounds a bit simple, but maybe when you're alone, maybe you at early morning time where you're alone, you feel like sometimes that you are in kind of direct dialing kind of mode. But when you're driving, you're with the family, you're having a lot of distraction around you, you even forget very basic things to think about it, that we have a relationship rather than doing this thing in this way, I should be doing it in another way. So I think it depends on that particular moment, how you feel it at that time.
If a husband was to say to his wife, when she asks, "Do you love me?" and he goes, "Well, it depends on how I feel at that time."
You said dig deeper.
Just don't say that.
I'm in trouble.
Just don't say that.
ask a question another way.
Yeah.
I'm going to discuss.
What's the question again? So,
Yeah, what is the difference between God and I, And when I say difference, I mean distance. What is it that is the actual distance between myself and God? What's the distance?
It should be zero.
Okay, forget, you know what? We're not here for ideals. We're here to talk.
I think it's about your relationship.
It is about the relationship.
It's a distance.
And what is the relationship based in?
How present.
What is presence based in?
Understanding.
What is understanding based in?
Genuine love.
Love.
Knowledge.
Just say the word.
Genuine love.
Love, man. Love. The distance between me and God, if is just based in love. It's based in love. Let me ask you something. What is the point? If I'm worshiping God for Jannah, does Jannah make Jannah Jannah, or does God make Jannah Jannah? God makes Jannah Jannah. So while in Jannah, the Jannati, may Allah make us the people of the highest levels of paradise, when they reach for their, I don't know, whatever you like, when they reach for their fruits, okay, fruit's a good one. When you reach,
Milky Way.
The milk, forget the fruit, the Milky Way. When you're in paradise and you're reaching for that Milky Way bar, as you would, the Milky Wayness of that Milky Way bar, who put that there? Allah. So when you're reaching for the Milky Wayness and the Milky Way bar in your Milky Way paradise, who are you actually reaching for? The bar or the one who put the Milky Wayness in the bar? And that's Jannah. I'm talking about, that's paradise. So what? Even people who are in paradise, they're actually all they're striving for, all they love, all they incline to actually is who? The Creator. Is that because they're in paradise? No. Here, at this water, if my lips are parched and I reach for the water, and I drink it, and my lips are no longer dry, is it the water that did that? Or is Allah the one who did that? So if Allah is the one who did that, and I reach for the water to make my lips wet, no longer parched, satiated, I am metaphorically, no, I am realistically. The metaphor is in the water. The reaching is a metaphor. The water is a metaphor. The reality is Allah. And even my reaching is a metaphor, because is He ever away from me? Can He ever be away from me? I can be away from Him. Can He be away from me? So even the idea of distance is a metaphor to make me go further and further and further and further. It's in everything. Your feet in the carpet. When you just like, oh, this masjid's got a nice carpet. Do the fibers in the carpet create softness in your toes? They can't. When you put your hand on your face, because you're preoccupied with, God, what is this guy talking about? And you find some solace in your fingertips on your face. Do the fingertips provide that? Or does the face provide that? Or does the brain provide that? Or do the synapses, the synapsi in your head, do any of these physical objects provide that? No. So what is the goal of love then? To connect. Okay. Is that it? To connect to, to connect to what? There has to be some object of connection.
Make him happy to get his. It's same like when, a little kid do something good, he contacts his parents. I did it. He want the praise from his parents, saying, yeah, well done, good job, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So is it appreciation, or? I would say, let's ask, what is the goal of love? Look, I told you, basically, this world, to give you to make some perspective, one of the things that people often agree in, whether they're people of religion or people of science, they understand that the world is nothing but movement. It's constantly moving. Things that are constantly moving, whatever is constantly moving, is always inclining towards something else. That means there's nothing happening but love. For what? What are you moving to? فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Allah says in the Quran, He asks you, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? And the amazing thing is He said, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? In the Arabic language, تَذْهَبُونَ, He could have said, where are you going? He could have specified that to non-sentient beings. That would have had a different conjugation. He could have said, where are you going to the Prophet, peace be upon him, alone? He could have said, where are you going to yourself and Sayyidina Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him. But he said, where are you going? Using the masculine plural like this means that everything is being asked. Where are you going? If I get on the road right now, and I start driving on the road, I'm going to have several problems. One is that I don't know how to drive in the UK. I'm going to crash. I've been here so long, I just can't do it. It's scary. I don't understand it. Also, I need to have a destination. If I say to you, hey, let's man, come on, let's go for a ride. What will you ask me? And I'll say, what difference does that make? Would you go with me? You go with me because, mashallah.
Love, there's love.
Huh?
There's love.
There's love. You would just ask, are there any Milky Ways? So love has to have a destination. Love has a goal. By its nature, it has a goal. Everything is moving. Moving towards what?
Towards Him.
Towards
Allah.
how? Towards Him.
He's created, Allah created everything.
Yeah. So? No, man, maybe it's just, He just created everything and said, go ahead and be free.
There's an end for everything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has a beginning, everything has an end.
Yeah.
So the attention and presence. When you love someone, for example,
There's no
what's the love for? It's for attention and presence, right?
I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. The nature of love is that it always inclines towards that which it doesn't have. It strives for completion. It makes one who feels incomplete strive for something. Right? So the object that is loved is more complete. It's more complete in the eyes of the one who is in love, or in this case, in motion, if you want to use physics. I said to you that the one who puts waterness or wetness in water is not the water itself, because even if it was the water itself, it would have had to have existed before it existed to be able to put water in itself so that it could be water. Ad infinitum. Cyclical or cyclical. No, Allah is the one who put the sense of wetness in the water so that when I reach for it, that means that Allah is the one who provides I have an absence. I'm thirsty. I need water. So the perfection for me lies in doing this, and grabbing it and drinking it. But Allah is the one who put it there. The water didn't do it itself. So therefore, the goal of love, the goal of motion, it has to be Allah. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? My question to you is there anywhere else we could go? We came from Him, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We came from Him and we return to Him. Why? Because of love. And I'll get to the other part of it in just a bit. Is everyone with me? Now, some of the scholars of these sciences have come up with some very interesting ways of explaining the next level. There are three types of love in this sense. There's actually, you know what? What are they? If we had to limit if we had to limit love categorically into three types, if we had to limit love into three types, what would they be?
Unconditional.
Whoa.
Unrequited, reciprocal.
So unconditional, non-reciprocated?
Yeah.
Man, that's horrible. Sweet? Sweet love. Milky Way. Hmm? Sincere love.
Devotional.
Devotional.
Spiritual. I mean,
What do you mean by spiritual?
like Islamic. I mean, Iman, like how much your connection is to Allah.
Okay, so you mean immaterial love?
Yeah.
Yeah, like love for in a non-physical way. Yeah. Okay.
The love that you choose for yourself and the love that comes naturally. So the love, for instance, that you choose you would choose your husband, so you would love your husband. Whereas when you have children, you love them.
All right.
Regardless.
Hopefully, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know, the funny thing about children is that like a lot of the reasons why we love them so unconditionally is because they are ourselves. You know what I mean? Like if a car is coming at me, I'm gonna get out of the way because I kind of want to exist. And the same love extends to your child, but even more so than yourself because you see something in them that you don't see in yourself, an innocence, a newness, that kind of thing. Okay, let's say, for the sake of an argument, that there are 3 types. And if you think about it, I think they're fairly inclusive. You have natural love, spiritual love, and divine love. Natural, spiritual, and divine. What do we mean by natural? What do you think?
Well, love.
Worldly. Okay, right. So like what?
So the love you have for a spouse, or the love for material
Careful.
possessions.
Careful.
Natural, right? You've been given.
Your spousal loves. No. That's gotta be like. It can't be worldly, man. It's gotta be like.
Of course, it's divine.
It's divine. Let's start over again. No, anyway, you're saying worldly love, yeah.
Yeah, so the ephemeral, so like
There we go.
so material love.
Oh, material.
Yeah.
Okay. Natural. All right. What is spiritual love then? You suggested that. You said it's a love that's not based in material things. So the 2 of you are kind of merging a little bit.
Spiritual love, like yaqeen, in terms of.
Yeah. So you're talking about something just takes you, grabs you, and it has to do. It's something outside of yourself, but it's an immaterial kind of grabbing, isn't it? You're moved by it. It moves you. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like emotional.
Huh? Emotional. Well, it can be. Yeah.
Kind of overlap.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say that we'll start with spiritual love. Spiritual love has been defined as the unity of the lover and the loved. It's a unity. It's a unity. There are moments, for example, in this world that you, for example, and it doesn't have to be like again, romantic love is not the only love that exists, man. That's not the only one of any value. For example, even though guys will never admit this, there are times in your relationship with your friend that you love him so much that you have synchronicity. You love this guy so much. You understand them and they understand you. And there's those moments and you're like, man, I really love this guy, man, subhanAllah. Because there's a moment where there's not 2 people, there's a unification there. Even just in a laugh. Have you ever been with your friends and you guys start laughing and you're finding that the same thing hilarious? The most joyous part of that is the laughter, the communal laughter. It's not necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you all know like why this is so funny, and it makes you realize there's a bond at that moment. And it's funny. The funny thing about groups is that human beings are very strange creatures. We don't like to be alone as much, but when we're together, we always strive for singularity or unity. the collective oneness. Some of them have described the spiritual love as rapture. Rapture. Come here. Yeah. Please come here. You asked it. Put your hand up. Look over there. That's rapture. You can see that. Like, you're like, okay, all right. Rapture is when something it seizes you. You can't help it. You're taken. You're taken by that thing.
It's like a magnet, pulls you.
It's a magnet. It's like a magnet. Yeah, exactly. Best way to put it. Spiritual love. Take a magnet and a piece of metal. Let it go. That magnet is never, or the metal, they're never going to be separated. There's some kind of immaterial force between them.
That's what you get with husband and wife.
Well, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Okay. What is natural love? You touched on this before. Let's look deeper into it. What is natural love?
It's automatic? Is that something that you know exists and it happens automatically? It's natural.
Something you're born with.
What do you mean?
Something you're born with.
Instinct.
Okay, wait. Something you're born with. What do you mean?
For example, characteristics. Innate characteristics are innate. I've been born with these characteristics and all.
What did we say that love is? Inclination. The inclination of the heart. You said so what you're saying is it's an inclination in your heart that you're born with. Towards what?
Towards being complete. So for example, when you actually feel something towards something, it's because you feel incomplete until you get that, or you try and show it. For example, if you're naturally a merciful person, and no matter how much, for example, someone does something to you, and until you feel that mercy towards them, doesn't it feel complete for yourself?
For yourself?
Yeah.
We'll back up. Okay. So natural. That's not necessarily a bad term. So you're saying that natural love is the inclination you have towards yourself, because you're trying to make yourself feel complete. The object is yourself. The object is yourself. So natural love is the love that you have for yourself, self-satisfaction. That's very natural. That's very natural. Even when someone is, may Allah protect everyone, and this is an epidemic in the world, even in the Muslim community, do not think that it is not that way, because we are humans before we are anything else. Believe it or not. Suicide. May Allah protect us. Suicide is, people commit suicide because they think that by doing that act, they will take themselves out of a place of pain and difficulty. So they're trying to self-satisfy. The object and the goal is still yourself. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying, hey, so therefore, it's natural, just do it. Nothing like that. But I'm saying understand. Natural love is one's inclination towards one's own self-fulfillment. Spiritual love is different. Spiritual love is that you are ready to lose yourself in the other. Natural love is that you're ready to lose yourself in yourself. How are spiritual love and natural love different?
Involves another person, another thing. It involves another thing.
Right. Are you with me? Is everyone following along? As we said before, I'm asking as a reminder question, is love the goal itself?
To make you happy, yeah.
To make you happy. Is happiness the goal itself?
For human beings to be happy, yeah. To be happy for a reason.
I don't know. What do you mean? Is love the goal itself? We've said all of this talk about love. Is it the goal itself?
It's just a means.
To what?
towards attaining that fulfillment of that.
And so what, so there we go, that's the word we're looking for. Love is about fulfillment. What is fulfillment? Contentment. Does contentment make itself?
No.
Is love the goal itself? If love is about fulfillment, is fulfillment the goal itself? Sure, it is if you give it a different name. What is fulfillment? Let me help you. Who is fulfillment? Allah. How? How is He fulfillment itself?
Through loving Him.
He is fulfillment Himself because He is the one who makes, He is the one who gives everything. Everything is coming from Him, so therefore He must have everything with Him. But everything, He has everything coming from Him because He is all. You don't want fulfillment. You want Him. You don't want the source even. You want Him.
That's our goal.
Huh?
That's our goal.
Wallahi, you don't even want a goal. You want Him. Again, we're doubling over and re-emphasizing. Go on.
Like the magnet, obviously.
Wallahi, it's like a magnet. I'm sitting here talking to you. What do you think my real goal here is? Is my goal here to have a conversation with you? It's nice, but what's the object?
Love.
How to get to Him?
Like, it's not even getting to Him. It's that perhaps this is the way that Allah manifests to me. Perhaps this is the way that Allah manifests to me. Perhaps this is what makes me feel fulfilled. You understand what I'm saying? Perhaps you're all sitting here, you poor people have so much things to do this evening. And I'm just sitting here trying my best. And I'm like, no. And I'm wrestling with you because I'm trying to get somewhere. But the thing I'm trying to get, that fulfillment, that sense of having accomplished something, that's Allah. Do you understand? If you believe or if you don't believe, if you know or if you don't know, if you're in this state, if you're not in that state, do you understand that there is nothing worthy of worship but Allah, and there's nothing worthy of love but Allah. It's the same. Are you with me? Now, this is the last question I'm going to ask you. But why? What is it? I told you that there's fulfillment. I told you many things. I'm going to ask you again, now that we've approached this. God is our goal, but how? He's our goal, but how? I've just put this thing in front of you. It's almost like a massive cavern. You're like, okay, so right, you're telling us that. I asked you before, what is the difference? What is the distance between God and I? Now I'm asking you again. How is it? How am I able to bridge this gap?
So the difference is through love.
Yes.
And we know that love is what unites the heart, passion towards the heart.
Yes.
And we know that to get to Allah is through His love, right?
Okay.
So the question is, how do we get to Allah, right?
Yes.
Well, by making the love stronger.
Yeah, it's the path of love. It's through the path of love itself. Okay, now I'm going to put it in a different way, and I'm going to end it because I think we've taken a lot this evening. What does the word beauty mean? What is beautiful? What does that mean?
What makes the eyes?
What's pleasing?
He said the eyes, spoken like a true male.
Something that pleases
Okay.
You find attractive.
All right.
Beauty could be in anything, but what makes the heart, what loves. The topic is love, so I'm trying to link love and beauty and things. So I'll take it as
It's in the eye of the beholder.
lie and hold, yeah.
Absolutely. It is in the eye of the beholder. Exactly. When you see something beautiful,
Alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah, like how does that, what effect does that have on you?
Melts your heart.
It melts your heart. And not only does it do that, but it causes you to incline towards that thing.
Yes, no, one more.
The reason why we listen, he said on that day, am I not your Lord? قَالَ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى. He said, am I not your Lord? And we all answered, indeed. You can't, indeed, bala it means indeed. It doesn't mean yes, it means indeed. That means that I can witness. I am a shaheed. I can witness to the fact that you are my Lord. That means that all of us know, we have all seen completion. We have all seen fulfillment. We have all seen perfection. That's what beauty is. Beauty is that which is complete, that which is perfect. And whatever that is, as you said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because I have certain deficiencies. What's beautiful and what's perfect to me is based upon my deficiencies. But on that day, every single soul saw him. Every single soul was in his presence, and every single soul understood and knew that their completion was through him. I said to you, everything in this world is about movement. Everything in this world is inclining towards fulfillment. The last question I want to ask you, because I think we need to pray Isha, is this question. Is there anything in this world, in and of itself, is there anything in and of this world, in and of itself, that is perfect? Is there anything within time and space that is perfect? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's the anomaly.
Maybe something spiritual you can, but physically everything is evolving, everything is trying to reach to perfection, but nothing you can.
Right, so you're saying that everything, right, so nothing is perfect here. Nothing is complete here.
Not physical, no physical.
So you're trying to tell me, right, that you will never find the perfect Milky Way bar.
Unfortunately.
Okay, but at least you have that, you're sane in, alhamdulillah, I mean. Okay, now, the question I want to ask you is this. Everyone is in love with something. Everyone finds completion in something. But where does the notion of completion come from? Where does the notion of perfection come from? Where does the notion of fulfillment come from when none of us have ever seen it before?
Through knowledge. I mean, obviously.
Think about it. No one in any time, in any age, anywhere in this world has ever seen perfection before. If you only use the world, if the world alone is your only measuring stick, your only gauge, let's just, for the sake of, I realize there's a masjid and I realize these things, but we're having a conversation. I'm saying to you, put yourself in the shoes of an atheist. As an atheist, can an atheist himself or herself say, I have seen perfection before? Look, man, there's nothing in this, there's no other world, this is the only world we have, there is no God, etc., etc., etc. That atheist, no matter how secure they are in their atheism, they have never seen perfection before. Do you understand what I'm saying? What street, what is the address? What's the postcode of perfection? None of us have ever seen it in this world. None of us have ever heard it in this world. Yet all of us are striving after it. This is proof. This is proof of either one of two things. Either human beings are insane, which if we are, then there's nothing we can do about that. Or we know perfection. We've seen it before. قَالُوا بَلَى. They said indeed. So what is the difference between God and I? As I said, this is just our conversation. What is the difference between God and I? The difference between God and I, the distance between God and I is love. If I understand that God is fulfillment, because I knew it before, and if I look around me, I will understand, I will see that everyone knows Him as their fulfillment, but they can't recognize Him, or some of them reject Him. Then I understand that this path of love, the path of Islam, or however you want to call it, is my natural fitrah, it's my way. And if I understand, then I realize that God is the fulfillment I'm looking for, because it can't come from anywhere else, because He's the most beautiful, and I know this. Then in my life, whether I'm religious or not religious, I will never feel happy until my love for Him increases. My love for Him will not increase until I realize how beautiful He is. And I will not be able to realize how beautiful Allah is until I realize how much I need Him. Because beauty in this case is about my deficiencies. How beautiful it is to draw towards that creature that understands me. How beautiful it is to draw towards the creator of creatures that understands me. How beautiful it is to draw towards that doesn't want anything from me. How beautiful it is to be loved by that being, if I can even say that, whose love has no end. Whereas if I look into the creation and look at everything around me, what do I see but nothing but broken, heartbroken, deficient, inadequate creatures that cannot give me the fulfillment I'm looking for. They can't. So alhamdulillah, we are in the masjid, we are in the house of Allah. It's time for Isha. These are some few things I wanted to mention this evening. I hope that everyone has benefited. Pardon me for going around in circles, and I'll forgive you for making me do the same. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin. Alhamdulillah. Shukran.